Hey guys, my name is Justin, and today I'm going to be talking about the bubonic plague. So what is the bubonic plague? The bubonic plague is one of three main forms that the bacteria Yersinia pestis can take. The other two forms that Yersinia pestis can take are the pneumonic and septicemic forms of the plague. In regards to the bubonic plague, however, the Yersinia pestis primarily reside within fleas. The fleas have the ideal temperature for bacteria to grow, which is around 26 degrees Celsius. These fleas mainly infect rodents first. The rodents then have the ability to infect humans by passing the fleas to the person or having direct contact with the infected animal's blood. So in this next picture, we're going to be looking at Yersinia pestis under two types of microscopes. On the left is a regular microscope, and on the right is the electron microscope. On the right, on the left, you can see that it's a regular gram stain of the bacteria. Yersinia pestis is rod-shaped gram-negative bacteria. Okay. How does Yersinia pestis get into us? So before talking about how the bacteria gets into humans or animals, we need to talk about how the bacteria reside in the fleas. So once the bacteria is in the flea, it forms a biofilm that creates blockage in the gut of the flea. So in order for the flea to feed, it regurgitates the bacteria. It takes in the blood from the host, and by that point, the flea or the bacteria is in the host. Once inside the host, Yersinia pestis recognizes the change in temperature and from 26 to 36, 37 degrees, and begins to produce certain antigens and to help evade the body's immune system. Along with these, once inside the body, it starts to produce certain proteins that disrupt cell signaling between immune cells in the body. After successfully avoiding the body's innate immune system, the bacteria travels to the nearest lymph nodes, where it causes blackening and inflammation. These inflamed lymph nodes are called buboes. This is where the term bubonic plague originates from, because of the formation of buboes on surfaces of skin. So in this picture, you can see that on the right, that the flea has bacteria in its gut, and whenever it attaches onto a human or an animal, it will bite and regurgitate this bacteria. And in this picture right here, at the bottom, you can just see it's a simple illustration of the infected rodent passing the flea onto a human host, which initiates all the problems. So, some common symptoms of the bubonic plague include fever, chills, headache, and one or more inflamed lymph node. So this top picture just illustrates possible infections due to Yersinia pestis. The lymph nodes can be infected, the lungs, which is part of the pneumonic plague, skin, the spleen. So here are two forms of the bubonic plague, or just 2 pictures. On the left, you can see an extreme case of the buboes forming on the leg of the person. You can see the discoloration and inflammation on the outer part of the leg as a result of the infection. And on the right is a picture of a man's hand after contracting the plague, after trying to take a mouse out of his cat's mouth. You can see the dead skin on the hand. This picture was taken in 2012. He lost the use of his hand, and his cat also later dies due to the disease. So here's a little bit of history. There have been various deadly outbreaks of the bubonic plague throughout history. The first major outbreak was in the 6th century during the reign of Justinian in the Byzantine Empire. It is estimated to have killed around 30 million people and was an outbreak due to the trading of goods between neighboring nations. The next major outbreak was arguably the deadliest outbreak in European history. It is also known as the Black Plague. It occurred throughout the 12th through 14th century in Europe, where it was estimated that a third of the population was killed due to the spread of the disease. The disease was spread through infected rats on ships. The major indicator of the plague during this time was the presence of dead rodents, rats, in the streets. In this picture in the bottom right are pictures of doctors. The doctors during the 14th century believed that the plague was spread by mouth, so they wore these masks and robes for protection. The plague is relevant today, as 95% of all cases are found in Madagascar and Africa. The next thing. So treatment. There is treatment. The best treatment, however, would be the immediate medical intervention with the use of antibiotics. Because Yersinia pestis is a bacteria, there's a range of antibiotics that affect it. And with proper medical attention, the possibility of fatality is reduced significantly. Without this treatment, however, the risk of death is high. Okay, so there is a vaccine. It was made in Madagascar by George Gerard and Jean-Marie Robic in the 1920s. The vaccines for the plague are used in various countries. However, it is not currently offered in the U.S. due to the low frequency of cases. The vaccine is also speculated to not provide adequate protection against the bacteria. New vaccines are being developed today, and they're taking new approaches that include targeting the antigens produced by Yersinia pestis. So, prevention. So the best ways to prevent this disease or this bacterium would be to eliminate the possible rodent homes in local vicinities. Another way would be to wear proper protective equipment when handling these rodents, and to keep your household pets free of fleas through common vet checkups. Alright, I hope you liked it.